Hello, good morning. This is Virginia at the Art of the Oracle. I'm excited to be with you today, whoever has found this reading. I hope it resonates for you. I was called to bring in a lot of clear crystal energies. So I have clear quartz, Lemurian, selenite, a variety of these things. And the reading today is what do your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, what is the message that they have for you at this time? I'm going to shuffle the first deck, which is the Archetypes, the Wild Unknown, and ask please for, okay, so there's the first one that I think wants to be shown there. Oh, there's two, so the first two. There's the Poet and the Father. So the first two cards, I'm going to ask for one more additional card and see what we get. I feel like it's this one right here. And the Mask. So we have the Poet, the Father, and the Mask. And if you're into numbers, it's 7, 2, and 61. I have these stones that I brought from Peru, and they're called chumpi stones, and they're hand-carved local rock from Peru, each with a symbol on them, which brings the energy of that symbol. So I'm going to draw one for the first one, and the one that's coming out is, it's the coca leaf. So I'm going to add that to it. And for the Father, and for the Father, I have the puma. And for the Mask, I have the condor. So those are the three readings that we're going to bring out today. Please take your time, take a deep breath, listen to your intuition, and see which one of these three cards resonates with you today, and we'll come back shortly with the reading on what your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, a message that they would like to bring forward for you today. Welcome back, pile number one. I'm going to let you see this card a little bit closer. A lot of beautiful things going on there. So we have a lot of birds, which tells me that maybe there's something that's about to take flight or needs to take flight. You have these two hands holding the crystal ball. And to me, what resonates with me is that it's like a creative time, or things not seen by all, almost like a mystery that's being encompassed in the ball. So in the Poet card, if you think about what a poet does, a poet brings out sometimes things that are unseen in a new way, creates almost a dance of information through the pages. So this card is to me about self-expression, about maybe bringing things forward that need to be seen. It could be about the creative aspect of what poetry is, or about what it is that you need to bring forward. One of the things that we grabbed was this chumpi stone with a coca leaf. And in Peru, coca is very, very highly prized. Everyone carries coca leaves. But coca for them it's a healing leaf. So they say prayers with coca leaves. They use coca leaves as oracles. So a shaman will lay out coca leaves and read the coca leaves to get information. And they chew them and keep them in their mouth to help with digestion. And when you are not feeling well, they'll give you a coca leaf. So what I'm getting from this is maybe a little of all of that. As a poet, it's almost like you're a word shaman. You're bringing out, and maybe shaman's too strong of a word, but you're bringing to light things that perhaps either need to be seen, or the beauty needs to be realized in a different way, or there's just so many different ways to look at it. So I'm going to draw some more cards and see what the additional cards have to say. The first card was the Archetypes, the Wild Unknown by Krans. And the second one that we're going to bring forward is Ancestor Spirit Oracle. And this says it's by Jade-Sky. So this was gifted to me recently. So let's take a peek. So thank you, angels, ancestors, spirit guides. In this Ancestor deck, what would like to be revealed? So since all this came out, I'm going to take this one. And it says, respect for the physical body. When we were talking about the coca leaf, I'll let you see this a little bit closer. When we were talking about the coca leaf, I did say that one of the things, the reason why the shaman bring it, you know, into everything they do is because it has a multitude of abilities. And I think that the poet is the same. You know, you have a multitude of different ways of expression. There's a variety of different ways to create poetry. Your subject matter could be so many. This one says, detox, rejuvenate, and relax. So have you been kind of, you know, stuck lately in something that, you know, is not allowing you to create, and you need to kind of heal something in you? Oh, wow. So my chime's going off in the background. Is there a wake-up call that you're not listening to? Something physically that's been bothering you and you've just been putting it off? The crystal ball could be foretelling of something. But the poet is about bringing forward, you know, a little bit of mystery to, you know, to light. And so I'm going to go to the guidebook really quick just to see if there's any additional information. For some reason, I was called to do that. It says, so your job is to feel immensely. And sometimes if you're empathic, that we take on a lot. We feel so much. It's almost as if we feel our way through life itself. And if that's the case, and you have this beautiful empathic being about yourself, sometimes we don't even know, sometimes when we're feeling these things, if they're ours or others or the collectives. So I from this card and just these three that we've received so far, is I feel like you need to clear out, clean up, detox, because perhaps you've been taking on a little bit too much. You know, listen to your body, listen to what's telling you, listen to what wants to be given in terms of poetry. It says the poet energy is present. There's a call for deep honesty and reflection, and for seeing the big picture within the little one. The words of the poet ring true for centuries to come, soothing the wounds of despair and violence that captivate our world. The poet's work is never finished, so find your voice and trust that the wind will carry it. I think that's very powerful, because in receiving so many emotions and feelings and bringing them out, and one of the things that stuck with me with what the author Krans wrote in the book is that it's like a never ending, right? As a creator, anyone who, you know, is an artist or you know, just anyone that has a need to create, whether it's cooking or the yard, whatever, it's a lot of times it's like this inner need that's constantly driving you into new areas of your life, and sometimes we forget to rest. So let's take a peek at the next deck that we have and see what Kyle Gray's book, which is Angels and Ancestors, see what he is going to bring forward. So thank you, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, for showing us additional information. What is this leaning to? Is this leaning to energy? Okay, the drum. Oh, dreams and journey. So another thing, I'm coming back to Peru, is that in Peru, let's see if there's any more. For some reason, I'm feeling that there might be one more card here. The drums, sacred. It's mimicking the sacred heartbeat of the Mother Earth. And, wow, okay. And there's just, you know, you can go into sacred space with drums, You can listen to the drumming to bring you into meditation. I felt like there were two cards here. This is the broken arrow, which says embrace the energy of peace. This is dream and journey. So I feel like we started off here with this, I noticed this crystal ball that came in pretty powerfully right here. I'm going to see if I can move some cards around a little bit so we can get them all in there. For some reason, I'm thinking that because the next card coming out is an oracle. And when we're talking about the coca leaves and how they use that as an oracle, they use it for so many different things. It says, wait for the important information. And it's interesting. She's got two hands holding onto a cup that she's looking over, the red cloak over her head. I'll let you see this a little closer. And I feel like because it's kind of looking to the past, that perhaps that there is something in the past, in your past, that is wanting to come up, to rise, so you can maybe move forward and heal something. Are you a seer? Are you someone that feels as if you can go into the dream time and journey through time and space in your dreams and bring about things that need to be brought forward? And then you have, I'll show you this beautiful drum card, and I'm going to take a look and see what, and then here's the broken arrow card, what Kyle Gray's energy from that is coming out as well. But I feel like when you think about the dream time and when you think about all these, so there's the broken arrow, and the message that he has is that you're being guided to know that energies of light are entering to wash away the darkness. Isn't that interesting? Because in this card right here, you see this illuminated ball in the middle of dark. And this broken arrow is bringing about additional, because it says embrace the energy of peace. So if you've gone through something that has felt somewhat heavy, then I feel like it's like it's broken, whatever it is, the path, the circumstance, the energy that was attached to all this is being broken and healed. It says arguments are ending, and prepare to talk things through and to offer peace. So let's see what the drum energy is bringing in, because yes, it does say that, this brings in a connection to other worlds, which I think also so the poet, you could almost think that the poet sometimes brings words out and puts it on paper, and you wonder where that came from, that divine inspiration. So with the dream and journey card, with the oracle card and the poet, I feel like they're all coming together to let you know that you are heavily guided by angels, ancestors, and spirit guides. So if you were drawn to this reading, you've just been kind of by yourself, maybe that you have felt a little bit overwhelmed because you're getting so much information, or you have so many deep feelings that maybe you're confused by what it is that you're seeing. But I feel like if you've had a time where you have either had a disagreement because you feel so deeply and the other person is just, not quite as empathetic as you are, that it's time for this energy to heal. And it's also time for you to clear away. So if you have smudge or sage that you can light to clear the space, if you can go outside and put your feet on the ground and just ask for the energy to be removed, what no longer, serves you. You can ask that all the energy cords that do not belong to you, that you gave out knowingly or unknowingly, you can actually cut them and send them back to love, and then retrieve your energy that you have, kind of attached yourself. If it's not feeling good and it's making you feel that, there's, as an empath, because I'm empathic as well, is that when there's that negative energy that holds on, sometimes I feel like we feel it deeper. We feel it on so many different levels. So if that is the case, I think it's time to let that go. and that there's something really important coming into you right now that you need to pay attention to. Are you having dreams? Are you going into a meditative state? If you are, I feel like maybe drumming might be, you know, if you're having trouble, or if you're, even if you're not, and you just love the drumming, I feel like that might be relevant for you at this time to perhaps get you into this space of, you know, just the information that's coming through. I'm going to look to see what he has in here regarding the oracle, if there's additional information, because it's interesting. It says that it's a truth speaker and an insight bringer. And I feel like that's the same energy that the poet is bringing in, because the poet, a lot of times with this beautiful dance of words, will bring about things that not just are beautiful, but sometimes things that are a little bit difficult to talk about, and they can dance with it in a way that allows people to see it in a different way. And so I think that this is a confirmation about this type of, I think they're kind of balancing to give us a double dose, if you will, of understanding how important it is to bring about this information, this truth. If there was some bad words and you didn't speak your truth, or you felt like there was some untruths, I feel like that truth will be coming. But I think we need some more cards to see exactly what that information is going to be. It says, if you've been waiting for information about how to move forward, or to make, to take an action, don't take matters until you have, everything has been revealed to you. And then know that the angels are supporting you. So what's lovely about that, where that sentences end, is that the next deck of cards that I was going to bring in were angels. So messages from the angels by Doreen Virtue. And, you know, like people that work with written word, all of these oracle cards that I've brought out so far, I feel like are a type of gifted expression from higher source or self. Because where does all this beautiful information come from? It comes down, and it comes through the people that have written and drawn and taken that information and put them down in the cards, so we can bring them into our lives and understand a little bit more. So I'm asked what angel is needed at this time, and this one was just poking out, so I felt like it needed to come forward. And this is Adriana, this really wonderful deck of cards. And she's going up the stairway here. She's holding a torch. She's a beautiful energy, and she's bringing about these two children. So is poetry something that you're doing right now? Is it something that you've always wanted to do but never thought you could do? If that's the case, I feel like Adriana, this angel, is leading you to that higher wisdom to be able to do whatever it is that you're leaning into. Maybe that, you know, maybe you want to work with people and help people. Maybe you want to be a reader, or maybe you want to be, you know, a poet or a writer, or maybe you want to create oracle cards. What it says here on the card is, I am leading you toward the answer to your prayers. Please listen to and follow the steps I am communicating through your intuition, thoughts, and dreams. So I feel like, because we have this dream card out, and because we have this wait for information, that all of these are kind of going in the same direction. So I'm going to see if there's anything further in the angel cards. Yeah. This one is, this is Seraphina. I am the angel of families. A happy change or addition is coming to your family. So it has a little baby there. And what's really interesting is you can look at this as physically a baby. I don't know if you're trying to get pregnant, or, you know, if you're waiting for the right time. If there have been, you know, maybe the broken marriage is, you know, a miscarriage or something. Whatever is coming out, and this may not resonate with you, but I'm not actually seeing this as necessarily a baby coming in. It's saying a happy change or addition. It could be anything that's coming into your life that creates some happiness. This is a beautiful pink card, and I love that it's right here in the middle because it's right underneath, you know, relax, detox, rejuvenate. And I think that the energy of this is moving into a space where you can feel more, I think, just happier. I mean, if you look at all the energy, it's really interesting because this card, it's so this almost looks like an alien over her head. It's really weird. There's two eyes here. It has this light of energy, and it's beaming down is what it looks like. It's beaming down information that I feel like it's a blessing from higher beings or higher gods, right? I don't know if you believe in aliens. I personally believe that, you know, there's an awful big universe out there, so I'm sure that other people or other beings, maybe, people is the wrong word, are available to us. So I am really kind of excited by this card because I feel it could be a baby. Maybe you're waiting to have a baby. It could be a baby. But if that's not what you're thinking of, a happy change or something coming into your family, which is very exciting, and it's divinely. I feel like it's an amazing gift. If it's poetry and this gift of word, because I feel like you're really connected intuitively to lots of things around you. So I'm going to grab the Light Seers deck, which is by Chris Ann here, and we're going to ask for additional information. So thank you, angels, ancestors, and spirit guides, for additional information. What can we do to really better understand all this information? Can we sum up all of this beautiful information in a clear, concise way? It's the Three of Wands. That's three energies, the energy of beginning something new. She's, you know, looking out. She's got what she needs, but she hasn't quite moved forward yet. So I love that it's extending kind of this pink energy and bringing it more down to earth. So what are the additional energies? Okay, so wow, that really wanted to come out. So the two cards that came out is, one is the Ace of Cups, and I feel like it's bringing out something that you love. It's a new beginning for you, and this is talked about, you know, an addition or a happy change. So I think, you know, if you're wondering if it's going to happen, I think it is, and it's going to be something you love, and I think you're going to be able to make a little bit of money off of it because she's happy with the white and the wisdom here. So that feels like a white falcon, right? Like you have the fierceness to go ahead and move forward and find whatever it is that you need. But these are all around her. So I feel like there are a lot of different opportunities for you that, if they're not here, will be coming in. All of these things that are hanging down, they're herbs. So it's almost as if you have the ability to alchemize or create things, back to where the poetry is. And maybe it's not actual poetry. Maybe that's what these last three cards are doing, are showing that what all this is saying is that, one, you have to take care of yourself. It's very important to take care of yourself because there could have been something that happened recently that just kind of knocked you off balance a little bit. And you know, as an empath, we gravitate towards other people that need help. We just naturally do that. It's part of, you know, who we are, and we do really get energized from helping other people. But we can easily get drained if we don't have boundaries in place about saying no, right, and putting ourselves first. And I think the reason why this is out in the woods is that maybe you need to isolate yourself for a little bit. Isolate yourself, go into the dream time, you know, let go of the things that have caused you some pain, and move into a space where you can contemplate, ask for guided information, because spirits are around you, angels are around you. They all want you to have what you want. There's no there's no rules here that says you have to do this or do that. So I feel like this is telling you that you're there, you're ready. And when you get ready to move into this direction, to take the energy to move forward, it's going to be something that you absolutely love. And I think it's going to bring you some abundance with it, because, and you know, all these are different colors. So I feel like it's also going to balance your energies in your body. And if you're feeling a lot and you needing to get out into the world, some of what it is to help heal you, perhaps, you know, a journal, if you're not a poet and you need to write down some of the things, it kind of offloads some of the information that, or the energy that we carry. And then, you know, there's so many different ways that we can create ceremony around releasing old energy or others' energy. You know, you can write it all down, seal it with love, and then, you know, burn it in a, you know, a little ceremony in the fireplace or something. But that's what I'm feeling. I'm gonna ask for just a couple more cards to see if there's any additional information that we need to know about what is the information that is additional information that's coming in. Okay, so that just kind of popped open. So this is the card, the Nine of Wands, which comes out when you're nearing an end of something and you just need to hold on. You're holding the light, but you know, you still got this little gate. It's a small hurdle that you have to go over, but you have everything you need. And so this is a card not to give up, which is then followed by the Ten of Cups. That's going to give you everything that your heart desires, which emanates with all of these cards as well, because you have two nines here, the Nine of Wands, which is the ending of burdens and having the energy that you need to move forward. The Nine of Pentacles, receiving what you need here on the energy planes here. And then these cards of love. This is the first and the last in the series of 1 through 10, new beginnings that are going to bring about the endings and the things that you desire. So pile number 1, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonates with you. If you like the reading, please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear it. I'm a new channel, so I'm driven by, you know, your energy as much as anything else, bringing out these readings. I've been reading for a long time, and I've just started bringing these readings out into the world. So if you like, the gift to me is from this free reading is just hit subscribe and like, share with your friends, and come back again. I'd love to have you here. So thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful afternoon, and good luck with your new direction. I think really beautiful things are coming your way. Bye now. Hello, pile number 2. So this is a really interesting card here. This is number 2, the Father. And the reason why that you have two separate images is the duality really that's inherent in a father archetype, because they are both available and unavailable. And in this card, that's what it represents. Is some of us have a great relationship with our father, some, you know, not so much. But what this card is bringing about is both like a guardian energy and like somebody who throws you to the wolves. It's like both energy, because inevitably, you know, as a parent, you have to let your children go. And I'm going to go to the book just a little bit, because it's such an interesting energy here. This looks like a copper coin, and this looks like a purple amethyst. And this looks like the tree, and this looks like the needles once it's, you know, lost all of its needles. So I think that, you know, if you're a woman or a young girl, there is always that energy of you know, loving your father, looking up to him, and wanting to be most of the time, you know, when you grow up and marry somebody just like your father. And then on the other side is the, you know, like the disciplinarian side of what a father a lot of times brings into a household. So I feel like that's both the energy, because The stone, the Chumpi stone that came in is the Puma. And this is a 5 stone. And 5 to me represents change and having to let things go, right? So when we allow things to change or to let go, or something comes about, something new has to come in its place. But sometimes change is not really what we want. So sometimes it's forced change. So I'm going to go to the book, which is The Wild Unknown by Kim Krans, and see what it has to say. Is that it says to become a student of the masculine energy and see the father as a pattern and not as something that's personal. So it's so true that, you know, like I said earlier, it's like, you know, we see our father and then we kind of want to emulate in our relationships that kind of person. If we didn't like our father, then we want to emulate something opposite of what our parent was. But the father is often absent, is what it says here in the book. And through the absence or the action, the father eventually reveals that he is neither a king nor a god, but a human being with many flaws and wounds. So, you know, if you're a son, it's the same way. If you're a man and you're looking up to your father, you want to be like your father. So I think that the energy that's coming in is maybe you need to stand alone, and maybe you're kind of looking at things with a little bit of a skewed understanding about placing on yourself or someone else characteristics that, you know, is something of a pattern that your expectation, or that you know, or you're not allowing them, or they're not allowing you to be, you know, true to who you are. So let's take a look. We're going to grab the next deck of cards is Ancestor Spirit Oracle deck. This is Jade-Sky. It's a very interesting deck, and I'm going to ask the ancestors here, what additional information can you give us about the energy coming through this duality or this projection that's happening here? I kind of feel like it's this one right here. Okay, so it's interesting that this particular card right here, you know, they're coming head to head. And I don't know if that's happening to you, but that was the first initial energy that I got from here. It says to connect with the animals for healing. And that perhaps spirit animals are coming to you. So if you look at this big, beautiful, it looks like either a moose or a deer. It's probably a deer. Deer energy has it's a soft energy. But this is the masculine energy, obviously, with the antlers. So you know that it's a stag. So have you butted up against another, maybe your father? Are you, you know, do you have an unrealistic expectation to what you're asking of someone else? Is it a projection of something from your past? Is it a projection of something that you're carrying around, an expectation that they just can't fulfill? So I'm going to take a look at the cards, but really what it's asking you to do is to connect with animals. Because if you know, animals have a limited form of communication. So a lot of times we look at our animals and, you know, they're this, you know, love that, you know, they can't tell you anything negative about you. They can't, you know, tell you when you're being a jerk. They can't, you know, they're just grateful. They're forever, or at least that's the way what we project on them, is that we think that they're forever, you know, just this amazing companion. And I think sometimes we take for granted these beautiful creatures that are in our lives. And I think that that's what's going on here, is there's a duality. It's interesting that this is split down the middle as well as this being split down the middle. And what I've brought into the reading today with all of this clear energy is as I felt, one, that the angels, ancestors, and spirit guides have a very beautiful message that is, you know, is coming forward here. But I also feel like I wanted clarity. I wanted to make sure that it was a clear understanding of the energies that has come through. So it says that in this, and by drawing this card, is that, you know, I don't know if it says try to connect with the animal spirit guides. So one of the readings that I was considering doing is I did this yesterday just for myself, and I sat down with all spirit animal cards. And I considered doing that reading today. So it may be something in future. So if you're watching this and it's something that you're really interested in, let me know, and I will, you know, bring about one of those readings. And one of the things that when I need clarity and I want to take away all the symbolism from, you know, man and all this, is I just bring out the animals. And it always inevitably brings me to a sense of clarity and a wisdom that only the animals can bring. And I feel like, you know, it does say talk to animal spirits and pay attention to what the animals. So I believe that when animals come in, that if you're seeing a repeating animal, whether it's a cat or a moose or a reindeer or a falcon, or well, I think it's hard to see falcons, but, you know, maybe an imagery or whatever bird type might be coming to see you, anything that's coming to you that is a repeated image, that I think that it's telling you that you need to connect with the energy of that animal, because it may be telling you something. So there is possibly, maybe you're butting up against two different worlds or two different types of information. So I'm going to draw from Kyle Gray's Angel and Ancestors for additional information. So help us understand where this energy is going. Can you help clarify? Okay, so there's a lot of energy in here. So let's see if we can, oh my gosh, I can't take this many. So please let's narrow down some of the, I'm going to do it like this and see if I can open up the energy. I feel like there's a lot here for you. So what would like to be brought out for this reading? There's one. This is be open to healing information. It's a medicine guardian. It's almost as if it's Archangel Raphael, which, you know, he is an intuitive, almost light worker. And no matter what I did, all these like big stacks of cards have wanted to come out. So it must be relevant for you. So this is the fire guardian asking you to ignite your passion. It's very interesting. There's a lot of masculine energy coming out here. And then, oh, and with the oracle. So this came out in the first reading. And this is like Jeshua. So this is the great teacher. And I feel like animals are great teachers. And like we were talking about before, about if you're receiving information, because the Earth Mother is coming out. And she's the great creator, and feel loved and comforted. So is there a healing that needs to be that needs to happen within you? That's kind of what all this is going towards for me, is that you've got two angels here. You've got, you know, the great teacher, which is all about these spiritual experiences, and the dove is flying forward, talking about peace. Earth Mother is a great creator. She's about taking this intuitive understanding of the earth, the animals, all this energy into knowing that she can bring intuitive understandings out into the world and birth it and give it. So I feel like all this is really powerful to me, is that you have this information about the Father and the aspect of duality, and then the butting of heads and feeling like there's almost like two worlds butting up against it. And the oracle says for wait for important information right next to the great teacher. And I feel like these two cards here are looking back to back. It's like they have each other's back. It's like he is bringing an enlightened sense of information, and she is here and available to receive this information. So this is the balance that I think is needed in whatever it is that you're seeking or feeling right now. And because I'm going to look at what the card book says about the fire guardian and the medicine guardian. So these are, you know, really interesting. So the oracle card is, since that one just popped right open, it just says exactly what it says. Here's an opportunity for you to see everything clearly. So if you've been waiting for further information, this is confirmation that that is coming to be. So I'm going to look at the Earth Mother. So it's interesting that the feminine wanted to come forward first. I mean, I had said that we have all this masculine energy, and we started out with the Father. And I really feel that the reason why it's coming forward, it's like the book is opening right up to it, is because this is really important. And I feel like this energy here is also, this is a woman who's head to head with this, this stag, or this whatever type of animal that it is, whether it's the moose or the reindeer or whatever. But I feel like she is softened, and she's put her third eye to his eye to help receive the information. There's a softness that needs to happen. So if things have been too stark in your understanding and the projection that you have on others, I think that it's softening, or it needs to soften, because we have all this feminine energy. So if you have felt ungrounded, this is the card that is kind of bringing you back into a grounding to regain your sense of strength. If you have had challenges, interestingly, with your mother, it says, know that the energies of mother healing are with you to clear that. You're being guided to make choices that are based on love. So I don't know if there's parental energy here that needs to be healed, but let's see. Originally, I wanted to go and see about these medicine, because this is medicine mother. It's got a really interesting deck here that is broken into a couple of different, and this is, there we go. So he has a series of guardians, which I think is really beautiful. So the first one that we're going to look at is the fire guardian. And it says that you need to connect with the powerful energy of desire right now. And it's to remind you of the passion. So exactly pretty much what it says. It's all about, it's kind of like the wand energy in the tarot card, and bringing about the energies for you to move forward in a way that, I think that's all that guardian is here, is just to remind you to come back into your own energy and to move forward. This medicine energy represents the healing of Archangel Raphael, for sure. If you're working through something that is physically challenging, pay particular attention to the information that's coming to you, which is, you know, wait for this information. So if there's something going on, if you're waiting, if you've had physical challenges and you're waiting for information from physicians or from other people, I think this is telling you to, you know, to take your time with whatever information that's coming through at this time. So it says your angels are here to remind you that your natural state is one of wholeness, and you are on the road to revealing that wholeness once more. And that could be, since these two came out together, that information that's coming together is going to bring you back into your strength. But let's see what, you know, the great teacher has to offer in the middle of this reading. And he's kind of, here he is. Okay. So it says, know that what is happening around you is divinely inspired. Learn from your current experiences, then share them with others. So I feel like because they have each other's back here, that either you're going to have somebody that's going to help you with whatever it is that you're dealing with, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether there's something going on here where you've had, you know, a realization of what this father energy is coming in, and maybe kind of separating your relationships because of the need to to create either a separation between their true self or your true self, or you're projecting something on them, or whether there's a division between you and your actual father, whether there's a health crisis going on within you or them, that it looks like that you're gonna get, or they're gonna get their health back, and that you're gonna receive the information and the support and all of this, because it says that it's a great learned spiritual experience, that through something, maybe it's a new understanding of this father energy that's here, and it's being balanced out by this feminine. So perhaps you have somebody around you that you're kind of not letting in, that you're kind of butting up against, and you're not allowing them to nurture you through some of this. I think it's asking you to do that. I think you'll both receive something from that. So let's see if it has, it says, if you feel that you've received messages from heaven or the universe, this card is really confirmation of that. So I think it's just asking you to be aware of what's coming in, because this is about the oracle and information available. But sometimes we don't receive it. So speaking of information, I'm going to go to Doreen Virtue's message from your angels and ask, what are the messages from the angels bringing into this reading today? Whoop, that one, really. Ooh, Mystique. So it says to keep charging ahead and expect miracles to the solution. Wow, what a beautiful card. I'll let you see it there. So this is, because it's a black card coming out of the darkness and coming forward. So I feel like it says expect miraculous solutions to appear. I feel like it's going to come in out of nowhere. And, maybe that's the information that's waiting to come through right now, is that it's whatever it is that's coming out is divinely guided. And maybe, I don't know if our pregnancy has something to do with this, or if any animals, or if it is physical challenges with you or with someone else. But that's what's coming through to me, is that there's some sort of expectation. And I think that what this card is asking you to do is to kind of put down the expectation, because I think something even better is on its way to you. So the last deck, I'm going to ask for all the clarifying information with the Light Seer's Tarot, and see, can you offer us, some clarifying information. So, I love this. Look at the card that came out here. It's the Empress, which is exactly what this card mimics. You can't get any better than that. So something is coming in for you, whether it's new solutions, whether it's a pregnancy, whether there is, a new insight, whatever it is divinely guided. You also have strength over here, which I believe is bringing in this fire energy. It's bringing in that renewed sense of strength and energy back. And as with all the strength cards, it tells you that you don't have to be physically, you don't have to physically, show your strength or your masculinity. You show it through your softness. And that could be what this balanced energy with the father is all about. And the mother coming in is asking you to balance that energy within yourself, and to understand that you don't have to be so hard, that you can allow this softness and this healing and others to come in and help you and to work with you. That if your father, or the patriarchal energy that was around you told you that you couldn't cry, or that you had to be strong, or to be a man you have to be a certain way, I think this energy is confirmation that no, that energy, you have to let that energy go, because it doesn't seem like that's your true nature, or somebody else that you're working with. It's not their true nature, and it's not allowing them to be the healing person that they are. So that's what the strength is bringing in. And then finally you have the Nine of Wands, which tells me that whatever is going on, it's ending. So it's almost at a completion. Whether you're trying to get pregnant, whether there's an illness, whether there's something going on in your family, because this is a general reading, it'll be specific to you. You'll understand hopefully what this means, but there is something that you're not going to see that's coming in, And you have a lot of really wonderful energy coming in here with these cards, these angels that are guiding from all directions. And this is offering you balanced energy with maybe, like I said, your past, the way you were thinking about things and what you're moving towards is the ability to be balanced and whole and this divine energy. But wait for the information, because it's going to be way better than you think it's going to be. So pile number 2, thank you for being a part of this reading today. I hope you enjoyed what is coming through and that it has some purpose and some meaning for you in your life. I look forward to hearing from you. If you would like to receive any specific type of reading, please write it down in the comments and I'll take a look and see if it's something that I can bring into the readings. Until then, have a beautiful afternoon, and I will start sending out daily readings. I'm going to be doing that starting this coming week, so I hope you'll be able to join me for some of those readings. And until then, have a beautiful day. Bye now. Hello and welcome back, pile number 3. So you have the Mask, and this is a really interesting card. Because typically we think of a mask as something that hides our true self. But it also, in the book, when you read what the author Kim Krans has to offer here, is that, you know, sometimes it allows our true self to be seen. And I'll share with you some of the information that it gives in the book. It says, the mask gives voice to that which was previously rejected. When the card appears, enact the side of you that is seeking expression, yet was never given a role to play on the stage of life. So it's likely that you've become so attached to a single mask that you need to fall face forward into this perception, bending time, and allowing a new, you know, that mask, that thing that you've been hiding yourself as, allow that to fall away, because something needs to be revealed. A part of you needs to be revealed. And I think that because we have chosen this 4, which is the condor, this is the chumpi stone from Peru. It's the indigenous rock there in Peru, and they each have, these were a series of 7 stones, and they have these beautiful imagery on it that has been hand carved in there. And this is the condor, and in Peru, the condor is of awareness, great awareness. You can't fly higher than the condor. He's this massive bird that brings about spiritual awareness and understanding. And I think the relevance of that on the mask is bringing you exactly that. I brought all these crystals out that were clear crystals, and it felt like clarity was needed at this time. And I think that both of these are talking about what is it that you are not showing about yourself, that you feel like you have to keep, you know, hidden. That's what this dark side, I think, is emulating here. And I think it's time to reveal that side. What do you have to lose? What are you afraid of? Because I think you're pretty great. And you're just not letting yourself be seen. So the Ancestors are the cards that I'm going to go to next. The Ancestors, I hope, will give us some additional information about what it is that needs to come forward, what is trying to be born right now for you. So thank you for giving information. Okay. So interestingly, this card came out in another reading, and it says, respect your physical body and detox, rejuvenate, and relax. So I don't know if that reading, I think it was reading 1, has relevance for you, but it's almost as if this one is taking a time out. And maybe that's what you need to do to kind of get to know that thing about you that you have hidden. Because it says rejuvenate, detox, relax. And I think the rejuvenation side of it is really what's coming forward for me here. You have all these trees, it's winter time, and we know in winter it's time for us to take a little bit of a step back I think that you've kind of been in this space and that now it's time to come out. So I'm going to ask the Angels and Ancestors with Kyle Gray, these cards, to help bring about additional understanding about what it is, where you're going, and what needs to be revealed here. What do you need to let go or bring forward? Look at that beautiful energy of the mountain. And this also came out in another reading about the dream time and the journey. So this has, interestingly, there's a dualistic nature to the mountain as well. If you look at this card, it says stand your ground. What does that really mean, right? This is as above, so below. So the way that you perceive yourself in the world, whatever your thinking mind is telling you is how you're going to put yourself out into the world. But is that a true expression of you? Is there a dualistic nature to who you are that you're not allowing the true you to be seen? What needs to be revealed here? Are you feeling like you're being, pulled into two different directions? Is this telling you that the reason why you need to step away is because you're being pulled in two different directions and you're not really understanding? This is the drum, the dream, and the journey. So this card is asking, it's almost like for you to go into ceremony. I feel like this is mimicking this, but this to me is about perspective as well. So the perspective from here is very different from the perspective here. And so it doesn't mean that this perspective is wrong and this one is right. It's just a different perspective. And I feel like it's very interesting that all of this kind of duality, this is, if you look at this and showing the two sides and what needs to be revealed, the condor is bringing about a higher perspective to what is trying to be revealed. This is asking you to kind of go in. This is your dream and your journey. It's almost asking you to go in and find out who is that true nature that wants to come out. Who is that? Maybe you don't even know what that is, but you feel like something is not quite right with you. And then you have the mountains, which is kind of giving you a little bit of a different message. So I feel like there's so much duality that's coming forth in all of this, in everything that's coming out. So I'm going to go to the guidebook that Kyle has put together and find out. It says, know that heaven and earth are supporting you. And it says this is about holding firm to what you believe in or what you're focusing on. And it says that you are right. So if you're looking for confirmation and that you feel like somebody else, perhaps this is about somebody else wearing a mask, and you're kind of seeing that that is a mask, like they're pretending to be something that they're not. And this is giving you the confirmation that, yeah, I think you're right about that. This energy is about unshakable power, right? And take time to root yourself deeply in the energy of the earth before welcoming new energies in from the heavens. If you're not sure what you need to do next, the mountain card invites you to stay right where you are. So what interesting information that we're getting here from the cards, from what is going on. I'm going to see what the drum brings in, and it is asking you to journey inward, which is kind of what this card I feel like was alluding to. And that what this card and this is about higher perspective and seeing that there's a natural duality in all things. And one of the things that was inherent in just about everybody and everything, supported it in Peru, all the symbolism and the artwork and, the way that they looked at the duality of things. They didn't see one as good and one as bad. They looked at duality as two sides of the whole. Like what this mountain is showing. It's like showing two sides. This is showing two sides. And in Peru, it's as if the masculine and the feminine were both equally revered. The sun and the moon were both equally needed and understood. That maybe, what you're seeing here, what you're facing here is a perception of yourself that's not right, or a perception of someone else that is right. So I think we need some additional information to give us clarity on what is it that we're looking at. The first thing that we're going to ask for is thank you, angels. The messages from the angels by Doreen Virtue, and ask for some clarifying information. And it may be that it's happening. Okay, so that wanted to come out. This is Celeste. This let's see if you can see it there. And this is a happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. Okay, so that's interesting. And then I'm finally going to go to the Light Seers deck, because I feel like we still need some light clarification, because right now this is up and down, just like the mountains. The mask, is it your mask? Do you need to let things go and reveal it? Are you looking at someone else's mask? Are you seeing it for what it is and recognize their own duality? And it's, you know, asking you to kind of balance whatever it is that you're seeing with some sort of rejuvenation, going on, you know, meditation or a dream, a drum circle, go into something that kind of separates. I think that there's a reason why these things are separating these things. It's almost as if, you know, there is a pause between this and another, stand your ground, and another pause. And I feel like we need some more information. So thank you for giving us clarity. The first one is the Queen of Wands, and this is seeing you in your power. This is about being in your power. It's a very feminine side to this energy. And look at that. So justice is bringing in balance. So that is definitely what is needed here, is balance. Let's see what additional information to help us understand. Okay. Well, these just kind of plunk down here. Okay. So it's bringing in additional. I think the reason why this come out here under respect your physical body is, you know, I don't know if you were in a bad situation where you have needed to set up boundaries here, but balance was definitely needed. I don't know if that's the reason why this new home came out, is because that you are moving out of a bad situation and you need to stand true to whatever it is. And then by doing so, that you're going to come into your light, into your own personal space, because she's now holding, she's, you know, what just popped into my mind is there was an old hymn that I remember from Sunday school, and it was, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So I feel like there's almost been an overcoming of something. And maybe you were with somebody where you saw this dualistic nature within them. And justice is now served, because everything in this reading is about dualism. In this card, she's on top now looking down at the dark side, right? So this woman, eyes open in the dark, this woman, eyes closed in the light. And it's bringing about balance. And she's got, you know, she's holding, it almost looks like two sides of the same sword, right? But they each have a handle on them. And I feel like that there's some sort of balance that's coming in, that you're seeing both sides of everything, because this is about, is also duality, right? You've got the black and the white dog. You have this woman who's staring at the moon, and she has this great realization of, you know, her own intuitive powers, her own intuition. But the moon can also be something that's being revealed that's been hidden. So I feel like that could also be what's coming out. And then you have the world. You have all these interesting cards. You have the world, which means that, you know, back to this, is that you can have everything that you desire, especially after things that happen, or maybe you thought that this was your world and, you know, judgment. This is a liberation from that. So to have the world and judgment side by side with the moon and the justice, this is a really powerful reading. And I think it's telling you that you have been right about something that you're seeing. I'm now feeling that it is mainly about somebody that was in your life that showed this dualistic side, that was wearing a mask, that you believed was one person and they came out in this very dark way, and that now you're kind of releasing yourself from this and needing to detox and rejuvenate. I understand this on a really deep level. If that's the case, I've had situations like that. And that the dream and the journey, that just understand that whatever it is that you've been through, that something, a happier space, you've got your light back, you can allow yourself to shine again. Know that justice will be served, that you need to let go and intuitively know that you're moving into a new world. Lastly, the last card that's coming out here is the Nine of Swords. And this card comes out when, we're overthinking and, we can't sleep at night. And that's why she's sitting here with the pillow. It's just, it's she's in red. It's almost as if her mind is going with all these different thoughts of why, or, blaming the self. But there's this beautiful white bird in the middle of all that, and the white pillow down here, because there are things that I feel like are coming in to help release some of this old, the pain of whatever it was, the duality of what was in your life, whatever happened. Know that, where there is dark, there will be light. It can't always be dark. And where there is light, there needs, there will, where there is day, there will be night. So, and it is a balanced way of being, that even though it may feel in a victim state sometimes, some of the things that we go through, but there are lessons and there are things that you can leave, because she's in this, what's interesting about the world is she's surrounded, this is the snake that's eating its tail, and it's, in my mind, healing. So when she's at this space, she's got balanced energy. She's got all this coming into one space to create that balance of healing energy. And I feel like that's what you're going into after a time that really was probably confusing, which left you with this. So I'm going to ask for just, are there any final thoughts? This is very powerful. So what you went through, I feel like, really shifted your life into a new direction, and you may not have seen. So let's ask about, this new space that you're moving into, because I feel like it's really powerful. Yeah, look at that. The Ace of Cups coming out. This is all about, the new love, and maybe it's about you. Maybe you've had to learn to love yourself and to, empower yourself. She's got all of her power here, and so does, now that she's seen her own inner light. So I hope that you find some solace in this reading and maybe help you understand that this time is passing, that you're moving into a whole new space of love and inner light and wisdom, and that it's time to let this go, this feeling, because the longer you stay in this state, the more you can be seated with this, thing that happened, and it just perpetuates that type of energy staying with you. And we want to move it, and we want to liberate you from this pain and the suffering, and know that, like, she's rising in full beauty of this space, that she's no longer down here. She has complete awareness, and she is so much more after a time of maybe not seeing, things too clearly. So thank you, pile number 3. Thank you for being a part of these readings. I am going to start putting out a daily reading, just a couple of cards, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that, but if you're interested, please come back and see me. I hope that if you would like to continue to see the readings, you leave me a comment, or you like and subscribe and share. It helps bring me out. I am so new, and it is coming out slowly, so I'm excited when I see somebody coming in and enjoying the reading and what I'm putting out there. So until next time, have a beautiful week, and know that, you know, you have the world at your hand and the light and everything that you need right here. So good luck to you, and I hope to see you again. Bye now.